It's early. I wasn't expecting you yet. I just got done watching Lincoln Riddle's video about how a YouTube channel needs purpose. So stick around to the end of this video and find out what this channel's purpose is. Or you could just clicky-click to the end of the video, because it's 2018 and we all know how YouTube works. Let's get a coffee. Yeah, I'll probably cut out the bit where I blew my nose. As you know, just like royalty and high school girlfriends, YouTubers don't have bodily functions. Okay, story time. So we had to make a call to our client, and we're with the sales girl, and we're having a little discussion, pre-meeting briefing, and she's a bit nervous because she knows that he's going to ask us a bunch of technical questions. So I'm like, no problem. Let's call them up, we'll hear what they have to say, and if they have technical questions, we'll just put them on hold. We'll talk about the technical stuff, and then we'll get back to them, whatever their questions are. She's like, great. So we make the call. Hold on. Let's get a little context. Let's call the sales girl Janice, and let's call the client Pfizer. So we'd been doing business with Pfizer for a while, and we'd had a couple of difficulties. We'd run into a couple of delays in our production schedule, and this had led to some really heated calls with the client. When we had new leadership take over the company, Janice came in with the new batch. She was on a new sales team with new ways of selling. The guys at Pfizer were used to going out to the golf course to buy, and Janice wasn't from that school of thought. So she would get on the phone and she would pound away at them. Buy, buy, buy. And this was really tough for them to swallow. So their relationship was off to a bad start. All right, let's get back to the story. So we make the call, and once we have them on the line, sure enough, they ask a bunch of technical questions. So we put them on hold, and we discuss a little bit about what we can and can't do. And Janice is like, why don't we offer them this possibility? And I'm like, that's great. Let's take it off hold, and we'll let them know. And she's like, great, you take the lead because it's technical. So fine, no problem. We take the call off hold, get back on with the guys from Pfizer, and I'm like, guys, Janice had this great idea. And her idea is that we do blah, 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 whatever, technical thing. And the guys are like, great, fantastic, we're super happy, let's go ahead and do it. As soon as the call is over, Janice takes me aside, and she's like, you know, you really didn't have to do what you did there. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, well, you know, giving me credit there, like you really didn't have to do that. And I think that's probably the first time I really realized that kindness is a superpower. Now, why don't more people do this? I have no idea. Maybe it's because we're not brave enough. Maybe it's because we always want to sit there and look at the situation and see if maybe something's going to turn so that we get an advantage. I don't know. I think most people consciously would say that they try to be kind and they try to be honest. But I wonder if sometimes our subconscious really fucks with us. So that's it. Part one is just kindness. It's really simple. Find somebody and say something nice about them. Say what they're already doing. It's just a testimonial. People are often afraid to reach out to other people and compliment them. I think we're really, really bad at it in North America. We're bad at accepting compliments, so we're bad at giving them out. But try it. It makes a real difference, and people start to see you as a kind person. Oh, you made it. Thanks for watching through the whole video and sticking it out to find out what the purpose of this YouTube channel is. If you're one of the people that clicked through to find out what the purpose is, check out this video. It's a secret treat
a little bonus that I made just for you. All right, so let's talk about it. It's Gary V. Oh, thank you, Gary V, for coming to inspire me tonight. So I've been thinking a bunch about what the actual purpose of this channel is, and I think that although ideally I would have a super pithy answer that would be, perfect and would capture exactly what it is that I plan to do, I think the reality is more that this channel, just like a company, has a sort of idea where it's going, but doesn't really know what's going to happen when it gets there. So I've spent the last 22 years working in the software industry. I've built all different kinds of software, working on projects for healthcare companies. I've built financial systems. I've built massive gaming APIs that handle billions of API hits a day. And in that time, I've learned a whole bunch of stuff. And I guess the real purpose of this channel is to document my journey and to tell my story. And I think my story has a past, present, and future. The past of my story is where I come from. It's the things that I learned years ago, those lessons that I think are still valuable today. The present is what's happening today. It's my struggle as a YouTube creator, struggling to upload videos, struggling to create videos, struggling with myself when I edit the videos, knowing that they're not as perfect as they could be. Learning something new is always difficult. And struggling with the fact that my main priority at the moment is my family. I have 2 young children, both under the age of 2. My daughter was born in April, and my son will be 2 years old in September. And so they're really my priority right now. And that means that the vast majority of my time every day goes to them. I'm lucky enough to be able to take time off work to spend with my wife taking care of those children. And that means that a lot of the time that I would be putting into work or putting into this is actually going to my family, which for me is the exact right set of priorities. So that's my present. And my future is that I will be transitioning from somebody who worked in other companies, somebody who worked for other people, somebody who really got other people to pay him to learn. Because that's, the way I see it is I've spent 2 decades learning on other people's dime, learning all kinds of stuff about the technology that I was using, about managing teams, about designing products, about how to approach different markets. And over the next 5 to 10 years, I'll be transitioning out of that role and into a role that allows me to stretch those parts of myself that I find are the most efficient and the strongest contributors to the organizations that I've been a part of. So I want to be part of more projects. I want to be part of, mentorship programs, either for companies or for young individuals who are just starting off their careers as programmers or as team leads or as product designers or process managers. And over the next 5 to 10 years, I'll be transitioning to that. So the future of this channel is that story. And that will start in earnest in the fall. So for now, I'll be honing this craft and practicing telling the stories that come from my past, using tools that are available to me in my present. And all of this will take us towards the future. So if that sounds good, I hope you'll be along for the ride. Subscribe below. Blah, blah, blah. You know how YouTube works. And I'll see you in the next one.
All right. That's it. It's a wrap. Day of filming done. Amazing. We can get out of here. Wait a minute. You thought we were going to leave? without cinematic B-roll of that? Let's do it. Yo, let's get this in there.
Can you be cold-hearted when you got that fire burning up inside? Never running out of love, you can't.
C'est parce qu'il faut grandir vite pour être beef comme toi.